to have you back here on We Talk Cricket. Now, as promised in a few videos before, we're going to get into the history of the game of cricket. Now, for me, the history is an integral part if you're going to try to understand this game. As much as I think playing it is important, I truly believe that getting the history of it is awesome. Now, when did cricket really get started? History says that, it goes back to Anglo-Saxon times, to the time of King Edward II, probably the early 1500s, mid 1500s, even earlier than that, who knows? But as real mention, as to the mention of it, I'd say it's in the 1500s. Now, where do I get my knowledge? Well, Encyclopedia of Cricket all over that I read. I remember my uncle had one on the shelf, and he'd always say, don't touch it, but I'd take it out and I'd read it, and that's how I really got started. That's how I really fell in love with the game. It wasn't by actually playing it, So, back to the history. So we got 1500s. It is said that cricket came from a game called stool ball, and I think it's a sport that's still played in England, which is really interesting because there's no stools involved in this game. So I don't know how true the origins are and that the facts are, but cricket has been around for quite a bit. The game of cricket, though, didn't really start taking off until the 17th century. That's when it really started to spread through the English counties. In fact, that's when it really started spreading around the world. And why? Colonists. People started to move out, And if you remember that time in the world, people just were tired of being oppressed and they wanted to start something new. So they took the game to Australia. In fact, it was there in the late 1700s. Then it went to the West Indies and India in the 18th century, South Africa and New Zealand in the 19th century, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, you name it, and it just continued going, and it has continued to grow and to evolve. Hey, what's an interesting fact you would like to know about cricket? Well, let me tell you one. Do you know that the first international match ever recorded was actually played between the USA and Canada in 1844 at St. George's Park? That's right. The USA has a rich history of the game, obviously brought through the English, by the English to this country. So it's not like it's a new game to the United States of America, but it's a game that has to be understood a little bit more. All I can say is, look, there is so much more, and we're going to take it a step by step, because look, you got to learn about how the equipment has evolved from being something that looks like a hockey stick to being a realistic ball beater. Next time on We Talk Cricket.